Good afternoon. Welcome to Papa Spins Garden. April the 25th, 2021. A couple things to show you. Had probably a little over a month. What I'll do is I'll give you at the end of the video the time of planting for each of the different crops. This is something I'm trying a little different this year. If you notice the cucumbers in this little bed, cucumbers over here. My dad actually grew these cucumbers from seed. We made the cattle panel arch put up, and I'm really enjoying working with these cattle panels, different things that I've done with them. But with this arch, we're going to train the cucumbers to come up over, pick, just give a nice look. Got some speckled butter beans, going to trail up on them. Got some pole beans, going to trail up on them, so it's kind of fun. Right here is our Silver Queen, and it's done really nice. Probably 150 stalks going on in this little patch. But everything this year has done so much better by this time than it did last year. So I was kind of evaluating what I've done different. Right here, we've just here a couple days ago, I've planted some blackberries. I'm gonna let them trail us up on this cattle panel. So we've got fresh blackberry plants transplanted from my grandfather-in-law. This right here is Cucumella and Saga. We'll talk more about that later. It's a replant of the Cucamelons. Again, Dad's is doing good, but I had to replant. A little miscellaneous garden spot here where I put the ginger, the leftover plants. It's fun. But welcome to the garden. Here you have Roma tomatoes. These are determinate, so they shouldn't get much higher than these posts right here. And we've already tied them up a few times. Right here we have our jalapenos, which I've got to watch. This may or may not have been the best location for those because my hot bananas grow tall. My Romas are growing tall. Now they're providing shade for the jalapeno. So we'll have to check that out. Well, this is Chip, one of the garden gnomes, and he's here amongst onions. Recently planted habaneros. I took out my some mustard I had in here, some giant mustard, and some of the other like cabbage and things of that nature from the fall. But these are the habaneros on this row, bell peppers on that row. So let's see how they make out. This is just a little bulb area. Another cattle panel. What's going on right here? Well, one thing that's going on is in the last 24 hours, I don't know if you can see that or not, we have had 3.6 inches of rain. 3.6. So that'll limit any artificial watering this week for sure, but it washed a lot of this here. This area here is all my pollinators. Here shortly, once they start coming up, we'll have all our bees and butterflies and hummingbirds. Just a couple little patch here. Pretty little strawberry. There's our 5 o'clock somewhere gnome. That strawberry's looking better. Now, this is one of the things that I'm the most proud of, and it's about time to harvest some of that. Like I said, April 25th, and if you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one because it needs picking. But look at the size of that zucchini. So that zucchini's ready. We'll do it up at some stir fry with some of the squash. We'll come back and do a picking here in a little bit. But this is our Better Boy as well as Cherokee Purples. And these are indeterminate tomatoes. So I've got them trellised here, and as they grow, as you can see what I've done here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but what I do is I'll take and twist that, and it supports that growth. This one here looks okay, that right there. So now I'll come back around, twist it around the string, and give it a little extra support. I really like this method of keeping your indeterminate tomatoes supported instead of regularly coming out and tying to a stake. I'm able to just twist that around. Looks all right. Like this here. Take this one, bring it up and around. Let that string support it. And there you go. A little more to from there. This one right here needs another little bit of support. That's good. All right. So this row is all my crookneck squash. And they're doing really well. As far as the growth and leaves, the zucchini and the crookneck have done the best. I'm going to show you some straight neck that was planted during the same time, and they're making squash, but the plants aren't near what these are. So I don't know. The one thing we did different this year with this garden area, like I said, it looks a lot better, was I limed it. I used tomato fertilizer here and bone meal under each little plant. When I planted it, I put the bone meal down, and it seems to really like that. I see here's my straight neck, which some of these are about ready, but if you compare the growth of the bush to the growth of the zucchini, that's crazy. If there's another zucchini in here, hit. I'll have to go ahead and get that one. It's not huge, but he will be. This is still real early in the season, but these tend to have made pretty good. With that rain came a good bit of wind. As you can see, some of these plants are tousled about. Looks like most of these are going to need a day or two longer. That's pretty right there. traits. One thing they use the little cattle panel for, a sliding gate. Like slide back, keep all our furry critters out. But I did want to show you an update on the potatoes. We're gonna have to weigh just a little bit this low spot right here. Thing about wading through water, watch out for floating groups of fire ants. They love it when it gets wet like this. And they'll tear your tail up for sure. So we got more blackberries, corn, our red potatoes. They're looking good. Starting to get blooms, potato blooms there. The gold potatoes, for some reason, didn't seem to do quite as well. And then you've got our sunflowers. Sunflowers up. Right here's okra. Okra's just now starting. Planted them a little late. There's Holly. Need to check on her. So they got hammered a little bit in that last night, but this is something I'm really enjoying watching, is this gourd. This gourd has took off. Beginning to see some, I guess, flowers, whatever they put out, the gourd. And he comes up, trails it. It's amazing just how much in one day's time the gourd can move. I guess that's why I think Jonah was under a gourd leaf one time when he was at Nineveh. So that's potatoes. Like I said, I got some random corn, an extra Roma tomato. So this is a fun little patch. But if all these potatoes make, this will be great for our family. Yep, that about winds it up. I do like just hearing the wind and the pines and the birds, and watching vegetables grow in an amazing way. Like they say, you never know how many. You can always tell how many seeds are in an apple, but you never know how many apples are in one seed. All right, y'all have a blessed day. I think I'll go over to the glider and sit a minute. There you go. Thanks for joining me for a quick walk through the garden, see what's making, what's not. Just water seeds a little bit, everything dries out. Rain sure makes a big difference. So we should see a big increase in growth this week coming up. And need more zucchinis and squash, and can't wait to have some of those Cherokee purple tomatoes on the horizon. All right, y'all have a great day in the garden. All right, the day after the last filming of how good the garden Look, we actually had some furry friend visitors. Corn still looks good. No real invasions there. But I hate to report that the deer have completely eaten my Roma tomatoes, my jalapenos, and my hot banana. So when I said welcome to our garden, I guess I should have been a little more specific. They left the onions, but they completely wiped this little garden area out. This line right here, all that was bell pepper, and all this was habanero. So the habanero, bell pepper are gone, Roma, jalapenos, hot banana are gone, and then they munched a little bit over here on the, what I call my miscellaneous bed. They really work on those peppers. I guess it must have been Taco Tuesday or something, but they got them. So I'm gonna have to get a little more aggressive with my fencing, I reckon. I was trying something, a little bit of a shortcut, which didn't work.